Um,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
hi everyone. We have Priya today. Priyadarshini is our speaker, and she's talking about the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And today is the second habit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
Divya. Yeah. So actually, this is the second habit today that I'll be going over. For a recap of the last habit, the main habit, the focus of that one is be proactive. In our life, there's two components of it. One is reactive and one is proactive. Reactive approach is something where if somebody says anything, we automatically respond back with a justification why you did something. Proactive mindset is slightly different, where people try to look at things what they could improve. Let's say if there's a situation with somebody you're working with, right? And somebody gives you a feedback about, hey, this is not what you're supposed to do, and a proactive person takes a step back, thinks about how they can improve it and works towards it. But a reactive person tries to fight back that whatever they did is right. And what happens is, with that habit and mindset, it doesn't make the person grow. So Stephen Covey mentions in this book about being proactive. So it's a very crucial and very important thing in life. And also looking at the circle of influence is another concept. And the circle of influence is basically, if you list of all the problems in our life, and a proactive person can knock down at least some of them on that list by not complaining and trying to see if they have a workaround. What are the other options they have in life, right? So being proactive is more of a positive mindset and an approach how we look at things, and it's very strong, and it's a very good habit that everybody has to work on. Like leaving all the other habits, it's one of the basic and one of the fundamental and best habit people want to hold on to as part of the life. And that's what the first habit was around. Any questions on that, anyone? Okay. So I'll go through Divya, can I go through the second habit, or do you want me to wait for a few more minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. We can go second habit, Priya. Please
Okay.
continue.
Okay. Um, okay, 1 minute. So today, the second habit that we will be, discussing is begin with end in mind. It exactly says what we wanted to say here. So imagine you're in a room, um, and you're, this is the room where it's a funeral room where a lot of people have attended that funeral. And it's none other than your funeral in that situation. You're witnessing your last, funeral. You have your spouse, you have your children, you have your work colleagues, you have your friends, everybody in that. And what in this book the important concept that we discuss is what you want each of these people in your life to say about you, and are we working towards that, right? So a lot of times we are in such a rush to get things done that we forget our, what we want that to look like. And in this one, what we the first element that we want to focus on is taking a step back. I know we are not at the day of the funeral, but we are still where we still have the life, and what we want this life to look like. It's all in our creation. So it's a very interesting and very strong one that really touches a lot of people with that concept of just taking you in the future and bringing you back and seeing what really matters to you, and are we working on that aspect of it. The second, this one is the current way we are all, at least most of them are operating, is we go to, I wouldn't, I'm just using work as an example, but whatever it is in our life, we have task one, task two. Okay, we're doing something. We remember this third one, fourth one, fifth one. We just keep We have so many things happening in our life. We are very busy, and with so much of busyness, our effectiveness is different, our productivity is different, what we want to achieve is different. Sometimes, if you look at the ladder we want to climb, our personal goal and motivation where we want to be is forgotten in some instances. We are focusing on things which probably wouldn't matter. And some of them are, let's say if a person is working on it and they wanted to make sure they get all the work done, they're probably overworking them. They're doing probably more than what they could, right? More than their 8 hours of work, or doing more time in that space. And they make money, they do get recognition at that point in time. Professional, they are very successful. But the important balance in life is the health. So thinking, and the relationships that we want to hold on, and the peace of mind. Sometimes it's, we need to know that, we need to know what do we need. Is it the money we making stretching ourselves too hard, or the balance of having a healthy lifestyle, and something where we are able to spend time with our family, and without being worked out, without being stressed. And knowing that one is very crucial. And it's important to have that in mind, so that we can climb the right ladder in our life, rather than just getting things done as a check mark, which probably doesn't even align what our end goal and purpose of life is. And here, I am going to talk about, it's very critical for us to write our own mission statement in life. The reason I mentioned that is, if we don't do it, somebody in our family would probably, write it for us. Somebody in your colleagues, what the pressure, circumstances, and whatever the pleasures, you're probably, writing, not, you're not writing your own, mission statement. You're probably being dictated your mission statement if you don't take charge. So it's very crucial to take a moment and write what's your purpose in life is, what the mission statement is. If I had to take a stab at it, I'm like, I want people to be remembered as a person who motivated in life and took care of people. So if I think that is my mission statement, I will work completely towards that. My purpose is not going to be making money or doing things. It's good to have money, but that wouldn't be overtaking where I want to go in life. So take a minute and make sure to write your mission statement. It's important to have a clear mission, not a vague one. Clear mission, your first creative thing in your life that you wanted to do is important. What's your goal? What's your direction? How do you want to get there? What steps are you going to take towards getting there is an important one. And also prioritizing is important, because if you have a lot of different ones, it's really important to see which one are the one you'll be very happy completing. um, and when we say begin with end in mind, that is so equal to take charge of your first creation. You have to write your own statement. Don't let somebody else dictate and write it for you. If you write it, you're more happy when you're looking at yourself in years down the road, that I had this goal in life and I achieved it, and I did this. And that gives you self accomplishment and a purpose for the life. And I would like to give an example on this one, specifically, where there's Daniel Ford. I'm going to use him as an example here. So he goes with his colleagues, to, like, not even colleagues, with all his close buddies and friends, all the guys, to Cancun, a good vacation time. And once they reached the location, they said, "Hey, free drinks to everybody who comes here." And all the friends got jumped up and like, "Hey, it's drinks." Starts, and everybody starts enjoying. But Daniel Ford's mission at that moment was to enjoy the Cancun trip, enjoy the nature, the location, what it has to offer. So he said, "No alcohol for me. I'll pass." And he stayed on that the pressure of the friends came on, he ignored it. There, but he really wanted to enjoy the trip by looking at the nature. By the end of the trip, one of his friends comes to him and he's like, you know what, Daniel? I was very impressed. I did not realize that I couldn't enjoy my vacation because I was enjoying the alcohol more and probably not remembering most of my trip experience. And he said that you definitely motivated me, that if you have something in life or any mission, you know, go for it. At the end of the day, Daniel Ford was happy, and he was happy that people have seen that. And he took charge of his own destiny there. So that's one of the examples. And not only that, even when we are doing our parties at home too, if you have a party at home, we don't have to like literally go to the end of our funeral statement there. But even a small party, if you're throwing a party, what do you want the people who come to your party to remember you as? Do you want them to remember the food you offered, or the decorations, or what those things you want them to leave at the end of the day with? And and once you know those on what would make you happy, and working the other way up, and making sure you're starting at this point with knowing that that's what you want to get accomplished, you will have a very detailed way of going. You know your goal, where you're going. You're going to prioritize the things on how you want to accomplish. You're going to order the best food in the town because you wanted people to say, I ate the yummiest food in the party. So your priority shifts on which one you want to focus. You wouldn't be focusing on everything, but what matters more for you at the end of the day. So you can take it as small as your party, as a work, or the life itself. So there is a lot of missions in each of our lives that we could start using this begin with end in mind thought process. Any questions so far? Okay. The next one I would like to share is, this is the second element of this book, which talks more about the different centers. So we all have multiple centers in life. So if you think about it, family, a person with family centered finds more security with their family. They feel happy doing things for their family, for their kids, trying to go an extra mile to make it happen, right? They earn money so that their family is sufficient to be taken care of. So those people are family centered. And then you have work centered. So when a person is in work centered, they feel accomplished when they get the work done for themselves. More towards, if there is a chance of a big work presentation over taking the family for a vacation, they would probably choose the work presentation over the family in that situation. So the work centered is slightly different, and the possession centered. Some people are geared towards more, I want to have so much of possessions of gold or money or wealth. So their way of looking at themselves of what's accomplishment is slightly different. If they bought a lot of stuff, they would be more happier than the other centers of spending time elsewhere. And spouse centers are the people who are more about their spouse. They really care about how their spouse um, opinions or feelings are, and work towards them, trying to keep them happy. And then the enemy centered are, it's a different center, thinking about how to keep my enemies happy, what do I need to do, working towards that. So there are lots of these centers, and it's very important for us to know what matters to us, which one is crucial for us, and how we want to tackle it. Um, and having that purpose in life of what you want that to be is very important. Here I'm going to give you an example of a father and a daughter. So the father is pretty much busy with the work stuff, doing a lot of overtime, doing presentations, going above and beyond at work. But he his goal is family centered. He personally wants to spend time with his daughter and teach her what the value is of want to listen to her, be her a mentor, be her a friend. And sometimes it's really important for us to take a step back and rethink what our priority in life is. If we are geared more towards the family centered, it's important for us to rethink what we are doing. Does it align? Are we doing the right things? Are we supposed to tweak some things here to make it happen? So it's important to look into that aspect. And definitely, in this situation, the father, when he notices and thinks about the end in, the end in mind, he would focus on that aspect of it in his life, so that at the end of the time he wants to leave that legacy of my daughter remembered me as being a mentor and a friend in her life, and that would change how his accomplishment on life would look like. And I know we have multiple centers that we toggle with, each of us day in day out, and it's very important for us to be centered with the principles on what we want to have. um, and any questions, anyone there? Okay, so I know this is a lot of information about, like, the centers and the purpose in life. And if somebody wants to work on this specific habit, the way a person can work towards it is write your personal mission statement in life. Um, you have to spend time on it. Write what you want that to look like. And this one goes back to, it can be anything. It's important to write it more clearly and in a crisp manner where you can feel accomplished at the end of the day. You can look into it and say, I am working on that. This is my mission, and I'll make it happen. And you are writing your destiny on that front. And the second one is, what do you want others to be remember? What you want them to remember you as? If you have specific to those, make sure write those down. Sometimes I will just use another example as, a wife. Sometimes you're like, hey, you want to be the best wife on the earth. And sometimes, we pick on things, small things. You didn't put the plate here or there, or small minor things, which really doesn't matter in life. If you wanted to be remembered as a special person, it's a slightly different approach the way we see it, on that front, right? We want to educate, but at the same time, taking a different approach, if you want to be the spouse centered, is slightly different. So it's always important to think about what you want that to look like, and are we working for it? And the third one is write three goals, because I know we are not in one specific area. We have our personal, professional, and a community kind of categories, I would say. So if you have a personal goal, write those down. It's important to write it. Personally, I want my kids to be, have a good childhood by being there for them. I'm just saying out, but or whatever it is, write three things you want to accomplish uh, while you're here. That three things as a person. And same thing with the professional too. Sometimes we have to write those down, writing that, as a professional, I wanted to do, I wanted to be a director in a specific role. And if you have that in mind, it's important to write those down, so that, the perfect example, I got a good offer from a good, very high paying, but not the position which would put me into the way my professional development would look like. And for a minute, it was so tempting to look at the money aspect of it. But then when I sat down and wrote my mission statement, it doesn't align with it. So without knowing this habit, it would have been just going into another direction and probably getting lost in that space. Rather than taking a step back and thinking about where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do, it gave me more clarity on my vision, on where I want to go, and what my next step. When I take this ladder, I want the next step should be this, to be this, rather than just going lost there. So it's important for us to write that professional ladder as well too, or what you want that to look like. At the end of the day, you just wanted to get your work done and go home and have a good family time. Great, just write that down. Work is just work. Just you just wanted to give your basic and you're done. That it doesn't matter. It can be anything for any person, and what matters to you is all is it is very important. Nothing else apart from that. The same thing with community as well. you know if I am thinking about it, I wanted to go help, cancer patients with something. I would go cook and do meals, because if I wanted to have my own mission statement of having the thing of helping people, what am I doing towards that? Am I doing charity? Am I doing something which aligns with that community goals that I have in life? And writing those down are important too, because it just makes you ground. It just makes you rethink: are we doing the things we wanted to do, on on that space? So in each of these three categories, write those three goals you have in life and keep looking at them, just to make sure that we're revisiting, remembering, and working towards that. And with that, I think start with end in mind. That's the main mission for this class, is to just rethink about what your end you want it to look like, and just work and path, keep your road, going towards that. Take that ladder, what you want it to look like. Okay, and I think that's the last one. I have any questions with this one, but this is the last slide here, is how you can get this habit into your life, is what this one is about. Okay, I'll stop sharing, and take if you guys have any questions there. Okay. Um, in that case, Divya, or I think I'll hand over to the host.
Thank you, Priya. Yeah. Anyone has any questions or you want to share anything?
That was awesome, Priya. Thank you very much for the wisdom today.
You're welcome, Satya.
If no one has any questions, I will start to play the music for meditation, 30 minutes.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you for the amazing wisdom.
You're welcome, Divya.
So we do meditation, Priya, after the session. Do you want to stay with us?
Yes, I'll continue.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much one more time, Priya. And I was thinking when you're talking about it, right? I was thinking how to, what do I really need in my life? It was a thought process as I listened to you.
Yes, it's an interesting one. I think we most of the time we forget that, and we're just so busy with the day in day out activities, just running each day. I think it's a. I'm glad to run into this book where learning about these concepts and able to share it with you guys.
Yes, I think it's very important to just contemplate on what we really want in life and how do we want us to see our own self before we die, right? Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Priya. I think we need more time to think and contemplate on this. Not in few seconds, it won't happen, but to get the answers, the right answers we are looking for. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Divya. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Priya and Sarupa. We can start meditation. Anyone new today for meditation? Yeah, I think so. I think we have a I think everybody is into meditation already from the list I see today. Yes. Please go ahead, Swarupa.
మనసును శూన్యం చేసుకుందాం, ఆ శూన్యంలో మనం విరాజిల్లుదాం. మనస్సు యొక్క శూన్యంలో ఆత్మ ప్రకాశవంతమవుతుంది, సువిదితమవుతుంది, ప్రస్ఫుటమవుతుంది, శక్తివంతమవుతుంది, తేజోవంతమవుతుంది ఆత్మ. మనసును శూన్యం చేసుకోవాలి. నో థాట్స్. అది ఎలా సంభవం అంటే శ్వాసతో కూడి ఉంటే అది వెంటనే సంభవం. ఉందిగా మంది కదా శ్వాస. హాయిగా కూర్చున్నాం. శ్వాస మీద ధ్యాస, శ్వాసానుసంధానం. మనకు మనమే పరీక్ష. ఎంతసేపు నిగ్రహంగా ఉండగలమా? ఎవరో మన పరీక్షలు తీసుకోరు, మనమే మన పరీక్షలు రాసుకుంటాము, తీసుకుంటాము. మనం శూన్యంగా ఉండగలమా లేదా, అది మన పరీక్ష. Be with your breath. జీవితమంతా ఒక పాఠమే, జీవితమంతా ఒక పరీక్షే. జాగ్రత్తగా పరీక్ష వ్రాయాలి. ప్రతి మాట పరీక్షే, ప్రతి ఆలోచన పరీక్షే. జాగ్రత్తగా మాట్లాడాలి, జాగ్రత్తగా ఆలోచించాలి. ప్రతి దాంట్లోని జాగ్రత్తను అలవరుచుకోవడమే ఆధ్యాత్మికత. ఒక్క స్వరం వాయించాలనే జాగ్రత్త. అజాగ్రత్తగా ఒక స్వరం రాకపోవచ్చేనేమిటి, అజాగ్రత్తగా ఒక మాట మాట్లాడవచ్చునేమిటి, అజాగ్రత్తగా ఒక ఆలోచన రావచ్చునేమిటి, అజాగ్రత్తగా ఒక చూపు విసరడం ఏమిటి. చూపులో జాగ్రత్త, మాటలో జాగ్రత్త, యోచనలో జాగ్రత్త, కదలికలో జాగ్రత్త. సంగీతంలో జాగ్రత్త. ప్రతి దాంట్లోనూ జాగ్రత్త. తస్మాత్ జాగ్రత్త సుమి. Be aware and be careful in uttering any word, every word, in releasing any thought, in looking anywhere. Be careful how you look, what you look, why you look. ఎందుకు చూస్తున్నాము జాగ్రత్త, ఎలా చూడాలి జాగ్రత్త, ఎటువైపు చూడాలి జాగ్రత్త, ఎంతసేపు చూడాలి జాగ్రత్త, అంతా జాగ్రత్తలే. ఊరికే కళ్ళు పారేసుకుంటావేంటి ప్రపంచం మీద, ఊరికే నోరు పారేసుకుంటావేంటి లోకం మీద. ఊరికే పారేసుకుంటే అంత అనుభవిస్తున్నాం మనం. ఊరికే కళ్ళు పారేసుకుంటాం, ఊరికే నోరు పారేసుకుంటాం. ఏం కళ్ళు ఏం నోరులో పారేసుకునేందుకు ఉన్నాయి ఏంటి అవి? జాగ్రత్తగా ఖర్చు పెట్టాలి, డబ్బును ఖర్చు పెట్టినట్టు. డబ్బుని జాగ్రత్తగా లేకుండా పారేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది, దరిద్రులం అవుతాం. మన కంటి చూపులను జాగ్రత్తగా పరుచుకోకపోతే, నోటిని జాగ్రత్త పరుచుకోకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది, ఏమవ్వాలో అది అవుతుంది. ఎవరు కళ్ళు తెరవకూడదు, నోరు మూసుకుని కూర్చుంటాం, కళ్ళు మూసుకుని అభ్యాసం చేద్దాం. నోరు మూసుకోవడం, కళ్ళు మూసుకోవడం, మధ్యలో ఉన్న ముక్కులోని గాలి ముక్తికి మరి దారి. ఈ కళ్ళ మధ్య నోటి మధ్య ఒక ముక్కు ఉంది, ఆ ముక్కులో ఒక శ్వాస ఉంది, ఆ శ్వాసను గమనిద్దాం. కళ్ళెందుకు, నోరెందుకు? ముక్కు ఉందిగా, ముక్కులో శ్వాస ఉందిగా, దాంతో కలిసి ఉందాంగా. అది వదిలిపెట్టేసి, ముక్కులోని గాలి వదిలిపెట్టేసి కళ్ళు పారేసుకోవడం, నోరు పారేసుకోవడం ఏ మానవులో? అవేం కళ్ళు, అవే నోరులో. ఎవరు కళ్ళు విప్పకూడదు, నోరు ఇప్పకూడదు. ముక్కులోని గాలి ముక్తికి మరి దారి. కాయప టూపిరిలో గని ఉన్నది, ఆ గనిని కొల్లగొట్టడమే ధ్యానం. ఆఖరి 5 నిమిషాలు, ఆఖరి 5 నిమిషాలు బీ విత్ యువర్ బ్రెత్. శ్వాసానుసంధానం, సుఖమయ ప్రాణాయామం, ఆనాపానసతి. ఓన్లీ 5 minutes. ఒక పక్క మనల్ని మనం మర్చిపోతూ ఇంకో పక్క మనల్ని మనం ఎరుకులో ఉంచుకుంటూ గొప్ప విషయం ఇది. మనస్సును మర్చిపోయి ఆత్మకి ఉనికిలో ఉండడం. ఆత్మ యొక్క ఉనికిలో ఉండడం ఎంత గొప్ప వాక్యం. ఆఖరి 3 నిమిషాలు, ఓన్లీ 3 minutes. బీ విత్ యువర్ బ్రెత్, బీ విత్ యువర్ నార్మల్, న్యాచురల్, ఈజీ, సాఫ్ట్, సింపుల్, టెండర్, peaceful, tranquil breath, my dear friends. Be with your normal breath. హిమాలయాలకు పోయి స్వాదించేది ఏమీ ఉండదు, శ్వాసలోకి పోయి స్వాదించేది అంతా ఉంటాం. మనస్సు నుంచి విడివడి శ్వాసలోకి పోవడమే ఆధ్యాత్మికత, ధ్యానం. శరీరాన్ని ఎక్కడో మోసుకుపోవడం కాదు. శరీరాన్ని మోసుకుని పోయి తిరుపతికి వెళ్తే ఏదో వస్తుంది అనుకోవడం మహామూర్ఖత. శరీరాన్ని మోసుకునే ప్రయత్నం చేసేది గాడిదలు చేసే ప్రయత్నం. ఎక్కడికి మోసుకుపోతున్నాం శరీరాన్ని? బరువును దింపేద్దాం, 70 kgs 80 kgs బరువును దింపేద్దాం, పక్కన పెడదాం. ఎప్పుడు మోసుకుని తిరగడమైనా 70 kgs 80 kgs 60 kgs ఏంటో గోల. ఎందుకో ఆ బరువును పక్కన పెడదాం, మనం హాయిగా జీవిద్దాం ధ్యానంలో. ఈ శరీరాన్ని ఎక్కడికి మోసుకుపోవద్దు. ఉన్న చోట్ల ఉన్నట్టుగానే ఆ బరువుని పక్కన తీసి పెట్టాలి. ఈ శరీరం అనే మూత బరువు నుంచి బయటపడటమే ధ్యానం. ఎందుకు 24 గంటల శరీరాన్ని మోసుకుని తిరుగుతున్నాం? ఎందుకు ఆ గాడిద బతుకు? శరీరాన్ని పక్కన పెడితే పక్షిలా ఎగురుతాం కదా. శరీరాన్ని మోసుకుపోయే బతుకు ఒకటి, పరీక్షలో ఎగిరిపోయే బతుకు రెండవ బతుకు. శరీరాన్ని పక్కన పెడితే మనం పక్షి అవుతాం, గగనపు పక్షి అవుతాం. గాడిదలా ఉండాలా, పక్షి కావాలా, అది మన చేతుల్లో ఉంది. ఆఖరి 2 నిమిషాలు ఎవరు కళ్ళు తెరవద్దు. పక్షిలా విహరిద్దాం, పక్షిలా తయారవుతాం. ఆఖరి 1 నిమిషం. ఓన్లీ 1 minute. బీ విత్ యువర్ బ్రెత్. పక్షి లాంటి జీవితం గడపడం కోసం. గాడిద తత్వాన్ని వదిలిపెట్టేసి పక్షి తత్వాన్ని సంతరింపజేసుకోవడం కోసం. 20 seconds. After 20 seconds. Ten seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Thank you, masters. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Priya.
Thank you.